Electric Fire Chapter 5 My Electric Fire.
It felt like an eternity as me, Sonic, Omega, and Rouge stayed hidden in the garage. We tried to keep away from the window as the sound of drones were outside of the walls of the garage. I just curled up into a ball. I was reminded of the raid back where I came from. I missed my home, but I had a feeling that nothing was left for me there. No family to go back to. Maria, Gerald, the scientists were all gone. I only had Rouge and Omega, but now Sonic as well. Tom and Maddie seemed nice, but it would take a while before they fully gained my trust. It was going to be a long road before I could trust any humans. They killed their own kind of it meant taking me back to that filthy tank which I had awoken from. I didn't realize it, but my fur lit up the room. Red or lit up the room, returning a blaze of pure negative energy. The chaos was rising in me, anger burning. I had to unleash it or it would consume me. Omega took to Sonic and Rouge's side and covered them both as I let out my anger in an agonizing blast. I wasn't curbled now. The garage was totaled, but there I was walking out. The fire in my eyes. This was my chance of freedom. I craved it. I was tired of being in isolation. Was this really the planet Maria loved so much? I wasn't going to let gun take me this time. I faced the drones, my chaos power still causing my fur to turn red. This was my electric fire. My fears, anger, grief all burning into one full blast. I watched the drones hovering above me, lasers pointing toward me as well. Sonic got away from Omega by ducking under him, no longer wanting to stay in the sidelines where it was safe. He took his stand beside me.
He didn't care if this would be his end. He wasn't gonna let his newfound friend to leave with these things. He didn't like the thought of Shadow being taken to a lab to be dissected, but that wasn't entirely the case. But Sonic didn't have a clue. Sonic allowed himself to brace for battle by the static electricity built into his fur. He didn't only have super speed, but a power like no one had ever seen aside from in the Marvel movies. He was kinda like Thor from Marvel, and also like the Flash from the DC comics and movies.
This was my time to shine, or our time. Using our abilities as one to take down the drones was a piece of cake. I took down most of them with another powerful blast. Sonic used his lightning and took down a couple before using pieces of the garage to take down the remaining drones. He was like a pinball machine except way faster. My powers came from something called a Chaos Emerald. Well, 7 of them. They were made to be these super powerful gems that if the 7 emeralds are together, then that's a lot of power. Enough to explode half the moon or even a comet. Some of my creator came across them. They're what helped me come to life. They also granted me this power. I can see that same power is in Sonic as well. I thought the Chaos Emeralds were destroyed after what occurred on the Ark, or maybe there is more to uncover from my past. Some stuff just doesn't add up. I was lost and thought that I didn't notice a helicopter heading toward us. It was gone. I didn't have enough chaos energy at the moment to take it on. Years of not being able to use my energy was taking its toll now, plus I used so much of it taking out the drones along with the garage. The garage was more of an accident. Tom and Maddie stayed inside the house. Tom was worried about Sonic. He watched from a window as the helicopter drew nearer. Sonic must have sensed that my power was low since he got in front of me. I just sat down on the ground, looking for something I could use to defend myself if the time came. They'd never be able to tame the beast inside my own fire within my own soul. Sonic was probably the first one to actually put himself in harm's way just to protect me, kinda like how I protected Rouge from Omega when we first met. I didn't want to lose him. He may be a bit annoying, but he means well. Omega and Rouge decided to join on the front line in order to help Sonic keep me safe. Rouge got into a battle position, smirking smugly. She was ready to fight for me. Omega decided to fend off the helicopter by showing off his weapons, not attacking but showing that he would shoot if the pilot or anyone inside would try anything. Sonic, on the other hand, still gave off an electrical current. This was my team. I had to join them in order to help save them like they were willing to save me. I wasn't going to let anyone take our lives from us. I got up off the ground, brushing the dirt off my fur and getting ready to fight. I wasn't going to use my chaos powers this time. My energy was drained, but I got the idea to use the skills a normal hedgehog has. Well, sort of. I got the idea after seeing Sonic curl up in a ball and aim toward the helicopter, only to miss though, but he showed that I could do more than use chaos. The men in the helicopter were already shooting toward us before Sonic tried hurling himself at the chopper like a projectile. Omega started shooting back while Rouge took to the sky, possibly to try and sneak aboard the helicopter. I teamed up with Sonic and followed his lead, trying to hit the gun chopper. We both toppled backwards though due to the heavy wind from the propellers. Something else came into view though, far in the sky. Something was heading our way. It was too far to tell what it was, but then a man with a gun jumped out of the helicopter. He had a parachute. He landed feet first before firmly planting himself on the ground. After landing, Omega kept firing at the chopper. Rouge was too busy in the sky trying to dodge bullets aimed at her from the other side. The man had his gun pointed at me and Sonic. My anger started to burn inside of me, but no red doors surrounded me. I still didn't have any chaos energy left. I needed to save the little amount I had left in order to stay alive, but Sonic's energy was unlimited, but he stayed down with me. He let his electricity die down. Tom ran out but wasn't able to get to either of us since the man in front of us pointed his weapon at Tom. Tom only had a tranquilizer gun. I took notice of it sticking out of his pocket. It wasn't going to help much.
Sonic kinda wished Tom's police force could help out on this one or even crazy Carl, but that didn't happen. Tom would, but he didn't want to risk innocent lives, though he did care about Sonic.
The thing in the distance drew closer and closer. Tom went back inside and sure on how to help. My team was losing! Rouge was able to dodge the bullets. The helicopter even dodged Tomke's firing, but eventually one side is going to lose. Sonic wasn't willing to give up easily, but he didn't want to get shot by an actual bullet. This was probably it for us. This was gonna be the end of Team Dark. Or so I thought.